Hello there and welcome to this mini bite-sized violin lesson with me. My name is Niamh and today I would like to show you a quick introduction to shifting positions on the violin. So shifting positions on the violin is what we do in order to be able to play higher notes up higher on the string, and that allows us to play more challenging and more interesting, more complicated music, which is of course what we all want to do. So I'm going to talk a little bit about target practice. So if you've ever played a game where you have to hit a target, you probably know that hitting a big target is way easier than hitting a small target. Isn't that true? So big targets are easy, small targets not so easy. What we're going to do is have 4 targets that we need to hit. First big, then small, then big again, then small again. So first step is not too difficult. Should be fairly straightforward. Second step, it's a bit like the first one, but a bit harder. Third step is not so difficult. And then final step is going to be a little bit more complicated. But I think you're up to the challenge. Ready? Let's do it. So for the first step, we don't need the violin. We'll come back to that in a moment. But you are going to hold up your arm as if you're playing your violin. Okay? Now, the first target that we need to hit is to move this hand towards your face, okay? Now, I don't want to see anyone doing this. That's not the movement. I don't want to see anyone doing this. That's not the movement either, is it? Exactly. So, what I do want to see, you can use your shoulder muscles to pull your arm and wrist in towards your body like so. Okay, that's the movement that you're going to practice. And what you can do is you can pause this video, practice doing this a few times until you feel comfortable. Make sure that you have a nice straight line here. And then when you're ready, you can unpause and we can go on to the next step, okay? Excellent. So let's go on to the second step, which is our small target. So it's a bit like our first target, but harder. Now, you're going to take your violin, hold it just like normal. You're going to do the same movement that we did before, moving your hand closer to your face, but it's going to be a bit harder because you're holding the violin, and you'll see why in a second. So this is the movement we need. The same thing, only it gets in the way here, doesn't it? So you need to stop when you meet the shoulder of the violin. But it's the same movement, it's not that much harder, so let's just practice that back and forth a little bit. Make sure your thumb here doesn't get left behind. That has to come as well. Nice, very good. And remember, no wrists like this and no wrists like this. We need a straight wrist. Up, and down, and up, and down. Good. So if you want to pause here again and practice that a few times, go ahead. And when you unpause, we can move on to the next one. So the next step is to do the same thing again, but we're going to add 3 fingers on the string. You can add 4 fingers if you want, but it's easier with 3, so we'll just do 3 for the moment. What we're going to do is the exact same thing, but this time all 3 fingers, plus your thumb, are going to come with you up the string and back down again, okay? So make sure you're not squeezing too hard or else you can't move. Nice and gentle. We're going to slide up and slide down. Slide up. Make sure you're not lifting your fingers off the string, but they're not clamping too hard because you might hurt yourself if you try to do that. So nice and gentle and just relaxed. Nice and relaxed practicing is the key to playing well. Excellent. So that's our third target. If it's going okay so far, I'm delighted. If you want to pause and practice these things a few times, you can even go back in the video and go back over some stuff. No worries, go ahead. But the last thing that we're going to do is the same movement, but with just 1 finger now, because this is how you're going to start to play notes that are higher on the string. This is only a practice for the moment, but this is the key to starting to play in higher positions. So with your first finger, make sure your other fingers are off the strings. You're going to do the same thing. So only your thumb and first finger are doing your gliding up and down. If you listen closely, you can hear the strings actually making noise. And that's good. That's exactly what we want. We want to hear that sound from your fingers. So the position that you end up in here is called third position. And it lets you play more interesting, more difficult, higher notes. Good luck.